trustees. We call it unfinished business or old business. And the first on the agenda is the land use plan discussion. The board is supposed to talk to the planning commission. No one's here from the planning commission right now. I believe Mark was going to come. We could come back to it in case he's coming. If he's not, we'll just discuss it amongst ourselves. I know what I did. I read through the report a couple of times, 2-3 times, and jotted down some ideas. And we could talk about that. Okay, so let's just move away from it just for a moment. And if Mark comes late, then we'll go back to it. We're going to go back to it anyhow. But the next on the agenda for us to discuss is the grant and the town hall update. So we've talked individually a little bit back and forth as this has progressed, but here's where we're at right now. As you know, they denied us the grant to transfer to the new town hall building. That was done a few weeks ago. Then they called. This was 4 hours, I think it was, before the board meeting. And they said, you know what, we changed our mind. We believe the best thing for the community at Green Garden is a new town hall. So we're going to go ahead and allow this grant to be transferred over to this new option. Personally, I got super excited. A lot of people got excited, but then we found out that the timeline went from October 31st. By the way, originally it was December 31st. The reason they said October 31st, which made sense to me, was because all that grant money, all the invoicing for the grant, our payment to the contractors, the grant money, reimbursements, all have to be 100% done by December 31st. So they go, hey, we need 6 weeks to make this happen, to make sure we're not going to get this screwed up, because everyone will lose that grant money December 31st. So we're going to make it October 31st. We got excited about it. Then we found out very soon after that they changed it to July 31st. Just kind of reiterating what we kind of know already. The reason they gave us the July 31st is because of the timeliness, completion of the project. They were concerned that we would not have this project completed on October 31st. That's what they said. In writing and verbally, you're not going to have, we're concerned about the timeliness. So we could talk about why that happened maybe at another time, but that's the bottom line, October 31st. So I called Anna, talked to Accenture, Anna, the director, and she said, Dean, they're concerned that you guys are not going to have it done in time. I said, okay, Anna. I said, let me understand this. Will County's concerned that we're not going to have the project done on time, October 31st, so they're going to approve the grant for that same project, but now we have to complete it by July 31st. So they're taking away 3 months from us. 3 months. I mean, that's a long time, 3 months. That's 25% of how long we think this whole thing will take. So bottom line is, what we have to discuss today is, do we just move away from this grant, or do we try to get it done by July 31st? I did send you guys the most updated timeline that we have, and I sent this timeline to Anna. Pardon me? The agenda? So, this timeline together, looked at it, sent it to you guys individually, sent it to you guys without discussion, and here's what it is. So, bid package, we have to create a brand new bid package for this option. They are insisting that we follow the federal procurement guidelines to the strictest sense. So that's going to take, and they agreed that it would take 6 to 8 weeks to get that done. So that also is adding some weeks to the process. But here, you see it here, bid package, we're working on it, completion date December 1st. Once that package is out there, and the reason we can't order the building is because we don't even know who we could order it from until it's awarded through the bid package. As they, in a perfect world, they want 3 bids coming in, and they want us to take the lowest bid. So that's going to take time. So the quickest, I believe, that we could turn that around is December 1st. What I also found out with this is that bid package has to be a real bid package. It can't be, hey, we're going to do a new town hall, you know, could you give us a price on just the building? No, we have to have a price on the whole package. Septic, propane, detention, everything has to be packaged correctly. And when I talked to our civil engineer, Brian, he said that, again, and we both use the same word, in a perfect world, and he says you really want to bring that package before Will County at a pre-application meeting again and get their blessing on it. Then you put it out to bid. Bids come back, we choose one, we send it into a censure, then we're able to order the building and get the process started. So let's assume that took two months to do. Let's say we started that October 1st, and the timeline it says December 1st. So now we're going to order the building on December 1st. We're going to also immediately put the package together for Will County for the permit. We have to hire the civil engineer, the architect. We've got down here December 15th, that would be completed. Will County Board then has 3 months to approve this package according to this timeline, this permit, excuse me, according to the timeline. So now we're up to March 15th. Now the building has come in by this point, and we're ready to install it starting on April 15th. It takes minimum 6 weeks to put it up, let's say. So we're completed the exterior portion of the building at the end of May. We start the concrete immediately, flooring for the building. That gets completed a week or so later on June 8th. Now we put the septic tank in, the propane, the rough plumbing, and the rough electrical. We start that immediately after the concrete's done, and we're done with that at the end of June. Well, it could. It really could. When discussing with everybody, you have to know pretty much exactly where everything's going to be. So there have to be some coordination. So that is possible that we could do it that way. Yeah.
One other thing, where's the electorate?
That's not in here. And I'm gonna go backwards on that, because that is a good question, Ralph. That's a good question. This is just the nuts and bolts of getting it done, assuming that the electorate approves it. Okay, so then we install the parking. It's now July 15th. It has to be done by July 31st, according to Will County. Then we install the interior, which is going to take a couple months. We're into September 15th. The original that they told us was October 31st. We have time to complete it. Sent this timeline to Anna, and with a formal request through email that they reconsider based on this timeline, that it's impossible for us to get this project done by July 31st. She emailed me back and said, no, it's got to stand. So that's where we're at. So in the meantime, to your point, Ralph, what we would have to do decided to try it, we would literally have to go before and we would want to go before the residents or the electorate to get approval to do this. But here's what we're approving as a community. We're approving us to go forward with this with the understanding that if we don't complete it by July 31st, we lose the grant money. So that means that the financial burden would be on the township. Now, we do have $700,000 in the capital fund. We could fund it, but people would have to feel good about that. They would have to go, hey, we want this new town hall. This is where our future is. This is what I think we should do as a community. So whether we get the grant or not, we're going to go forward. If the community can't say that, then us as a trustee board, we don't want to go forward with it. Because in our view, based on this timeline, we do not believe we'll get it done by July 31st.
So the timeline from, what kind of permit, that's 12/25. Beyond that is 3/15/26.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness. Sorry.
We're in 26.
26. Yeah, not 25. Yeah, I put 25. By 10/26. But it's not going to be done by 10/26 according to Will County. It has to be done by July 31st, 2026. So here's what someone mentioned to me. There's two things. One is, like I said, we would have to be willing as a community to go forward with this with the understanding that it's very possible we don't get it done in time and we get zero grant money. And are we willing to move forward? Are we excited enough about it to move forward to spend our own money on it? Now, that's one thing. We would have to order this building to even have a chance at getting it done. Here, let me back up a second. Here's what one person told me. Dean, originally they said 10/31. If we got everything done, let's say we were done 75, 80%, we were done by July. And we had everything done except the interior rebuild. Maybe they would go, hey, you guys are almost done. We're gonna let you keep going. We're gonna extend this grant until October 31st. Maybe they would. I would almost hope they would because that was the original date. So they see a lot of progress. They see we're right there turning the corner. They very well may. Well, I asked that to Ann. And her answer was, this was on the phone. Her answer to me was, Dean, I cannot speak to Will County. They told me that's a deadline. July 31st is the deadline. I said, so Ann, if we were 3 weeks away, if we were 4 weeks away, you guys are going to pull the grant? Since according to this document, yes. So we have to be willing to roll the dice, so to speak, on that. Now, if we move away from the whole project, we're gonna invest our own money anyhow as time progresses. We're just gonna do it like some of the residents here have said. Let's just take our time and do it. Well, then we're gonna do it with our own money for sure. But one other caveat to this, and then I want your thoughts, is even if we progress forward, we have to order the building before the permit's ready to have even a chance of getting this done. So we have to literally order that building. Now, Ralph, you and I sat down with these permit people of Will County and had that pre-meeting with 5 other officials there. They said no problem. They didn't see any issues. Same thing with the highway department. So again, it's like, yeah, we think that could happen, but these are the risks that everyone needs to know. Otherwise, we don't move forward with the project. And we have to move away from the grant funding. I'm not happy. I mean, I'll go on record to say politely that I'm not happy with Will County's decision. I understand they're concerned about our timeliness and our ability to get it done. Because we did have a Will County official put that in their mind the day before the decision was going to be made. I get it. However, how could you look at a township with sincerity and say, I'm concerned that you're going to get it done by October 31st. But I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and approve it for you. But now you got to get it done by July 31st. That's not sincere. So I'm professionally and politely bothers me that they would do that to a little county township like ours. It's given to us in October and then say, hey, we're not sure you're gonna get it done in October, so now we want you to get it done in July. So that's where we're at, that's the reality, so, this project. Well, this project, I have to literally go back to them again and say, okay, we don't believe we can get this project done, the new project done by July. So we wanna go back to the original. Well, it's gonna be the same timeline. We have to have new plans. So, there's been people in the community that have said, hey, can't you pull some stuff back? At our last meeting, we saw, Ralph and I was with Tria and Harbor on the phone, and to do everything ADA compliant, it's gonna cost $656,000, plus we estimated maybe another $100,000, because we have a septic, we got the ceiling, if there's any issues in there, you know, look, some other costs that I don't have in front of us now, we talked about it last time. So could you imagine putting another $100,000 into this project, and then we don't get it done on time? And so now we have another $100,000 that we just invested for the township with a project that, quite honestly, I'm not real excited about. Because I don't think it's a wise decision to put money into this. I never did. It's just how you feel about it. That's what we ran on. So, you know, but you know, if we could be sure that we'd be done in time, you know, maybe it would be considered. But I've got concerns that we even finish this project on time. Now, Mike, Mike and I talked, and some others talked. We could get a committee together and try to help us understand, will we get this done in time? But all that takes time too, and we have to start all over again with a whole procurement package. So we're really in a tough spot with this. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think based on this timeline that we could get the new building done?
I don't think based on the deadline that we could. I was confident we could by December, but I don't think we can have a rush on personally. And I mean, granted, if they gave some more, it was a conference, they would extend it if we got a certain percentage of it done by it sometime, like say by June, we had over 50% of it done, that they would give us an extension. They can give us that confidence, that might change my opinion, but I would say I'm not confident enough to gamble it, just and rush through it, you know. By now, I'm kind of more leaning towards the side of, let's make sure we do it right, and just save up another year, maybe, or at least a year or two, plan it efficiently, and do it. Then we
look into what it would take to make this, spend as least amount of money as possible to make it ADA compliant so that we can utilize it until the community is prepared to do a new building in the, new town hall.
And it's just, yeah, it's not trying to put the assessor in here, because that's not, this is just for anybody coming in, unless we put a sign by the door that says, enter at your own risk. That would be appropriate. And I think Carrie and Lynn can get us a sign for that, would be okay.
All right, well,
I'd like to know if we're under any obligation, obviously, I know we want to risk it, are we under an obligation to the ADA, or is this kind of a grandfather or anything else?
I don't know. It's a good question.
What is that?
Could you speak up?
Whether or not we are under any obligation to make this building ADA compliant or not, or if this is somewhat.
Yeah, it's covered in the law. We actually, yes.
If so, then we use it separate.
No, there's no grant money enough. That's drying up.
Committee isn't clear about it.
Yeah, there's no grant money. Anything we do here has got to come out of our own township fund. So I would suggest, as a good resident has suggested, to form a committee then to see what we could do with this building from our own funds to make it ADA compliant. With the current people we had, it's $656,000 later, plus more money.
My opinion is that what if we consider the option of using another building that is ADA compliant
Until
until then, I don't know, either the school, the church, building something that is ADA compliant, just so we don't have to not under any obligation. Throw money at this building that's, we'll just get a number.
oh, you mean to use, don't do anything with this building?
Until we are prepared to build our own, yes.
That's a good thought. I mean, that's, that's a reasonable thing. Right now, the assessor's office is in, Monroe's building, so we would need it for 1 year, once a month for our meetings, right? Twice a month to do a workshop.
But I mean, we can renovate without having to go for, some sort of approval, or is it by lease or sell?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so let's think about this. This is a workshop. At next meeting, it'll be on the agenda. We'll vote on it, on what procedure we're gonna take with this. We could form, just brainstorming off what you guys said, we could form a committee to see what we could do with this building, take our time, do the least as possible, keep it compliant with ADA, whatever we need to do to make it legal. We want to do things legally according to what we're supposed to. We talked about putting off the new building because we just don't feel there's time to do it. And without the risk of, we have to have a resident meeting, and the residents would have to agree that we're prepared to spend our own money on it. The other option could be that, and I'm kind of putting this down so we can think about it, 2 weeks goes quick. The other option is that we literally go somewhere else until we're ready, as you just said, Wes, to build a new building. So for 2-3 years, we rent somewhere like Monroe. We go to the church and have our meeting, wherever we need to go to be compliant.
Are we under an obligation, a time obligation for making this building? Are we gonna get kicked out here because it's not over here?
We've been in here for a lot of years.
Exactly.
Who knows, the spotlight is on us now, from that standpoint. We're gonna have to find out, and talk to the county and say, actually, maybe you bring someone out here and say, what do we need to do to be able to get occupancy of this building? So, we'll have to form, I think we should form a committee to find out those answers. Someone that's got some knowledge, building, if anything. And the reason I say if anything, because we've been in here for, I don't know how many years. Many, many, many years to this point. Yeah, the last thing I want to do is invest a bunch of money in this and try to complete this project. Don't get it completed by July 1st. Now we have $400,000 in this building, where is, and this is like we've talked about, it's not our future. We got the road expansion, it's a safety hazard in our opinion. Yeah, they have. The highway department doesn't want us in there.
And also the survey that we looked at.
Okay. All right, any other discussion on this? I'm not sure what happened to the land use, but let's go to the land use packet that was given to us at the last meeting. Yeah, just let's just do the map right now. And I can share mine, just get the maps, and then I can share this with you. You have your. Well, you brought your notebook, so me and Ralph get a star apiece because we brought the notebooks.
Not the camera.
So one of my thoughts with the
I know.
one of my thoughts with the map is the industrial slash commercial area. I'd like to take a look at that. My opinion was going to be, my suggestion is that right now, we'll see in the map here in a minute, the commercial corridor is on Route 45 from Stager to the north, all the way to Hoffman to the south, which is our entire township strip there on Route 45.
On this side?
so vague and having it as a possibility, and having it as a possibility from, state or all the way to Oxford.
Yeah.
So that's how it's sitting right now, is that we'd be open to it, that whole 6 miles.
Well, they're calling, Range as a commercial and, industrial. They're calling it solar.
Right, right. And that's my point. Could we have a special designation for the solar facilities? As a township, we say, hey, we would consider a solar facility if it's from Mohegan Manhattan Road north to Stumple on Route 45. And that's it. So when the solar people come to us and they say, hey, I want to put it on Pauling Road and Route 45, we say that's not part of our comprehensive plan, and that's what we would share with the county and hope that they agree. And then hope Springfield agrees, right? So in other words, we would have a designation for it. That's what I was going to ask Mark. I didn't know if he pursued that at all. Because he dedicates a whole page to solar on his sheet there.
Well, Lauren and, Jim Wake are working on that.
Are you saying solar and all under commercial or industrial?
No, sorry. It needs a special use. Like the guy coming down the range here, turn 22, this requires 2 SUVs, one for the solar and one for the battery storage.
And that's A1 right now, you're saying?
Yeah.
So is-
he's not asking for a map amendment from A1 to industrial. He's only asking for a special use permit.
Yeah.
That's all.
But tell me if I'm correct with this, maybe I'm not understanding. I hear what you said about the A1. So, according to this map then, a solar farm couldn't even go on Route 45. It's zoned commercial, not even zoned A1. According to this map.
All the property adjoining is zoned A1.
A1.
The range is zoned A.
Right. But I mean, to the east and west of LaGrange?
Yes, there's a couple spots where there's industrial, close to,
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm looking at on the map then, the colors are hard to distinguish, but if I'm reading this right, again, from Mohegan Manhattan Road to Stunkel, Route 45, whether it's east or west of Route 45, that's showing agricultural there.
Yeah, it's just either side, I don't know what it is, 100 feet.
Yeah.
It's like a strip mall or something like that.
Yeah. So,
But it's not designed that way in actuality. Some of the people that, like the, sewer and water guy, he has, 10 acres, so it goes back.
back further, yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing we could do, obviously, with something that's already there. But I don't see why we can't designate that area right there, that 2-mile area, east and west of Route 45, because all of it, according to this map, is A1. And that's where a solar farm would be placed, or could be placed in our township. But anything outside of that, we would just say no to, because it's not on our comprehensive plan. So we're given a 2-mile area. I don't know if that would fly, but I don't like the idea of 6 miles of potential anywhere in our township solar farm that we would approve as a township. I know what Springfield wants, and I know Will County's hands are tied, but we have at least the right to say, we don't want it anywhere in our township, as far as, take your pick. If we're gonna approve something, it would be in this corridor only. And just hang out with that.
We can say that, but
We can say it, but it might not go anywhere.
they're just gonna ignore us.
Well, they would, but at least we could say, as a township, we have a comprehensive plan that has a special residential, what I was gonna ask Mark was, if you look at line under neighborhood residential, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you look at line 4, it says suburban residential areas may include, because that's what neighborhood residential is, more like a suburban residential. Like where I live in Canterbury Lakes, Tuscan, whatever, neighborhoods like that it's talking about. So suburban residential areas may include a variety of housing types, such as a small scale attached homes like townhomes and duplexes, as well as community amenities like parks, schools, and neighborhood scale commercial uses. I would suggest that we get rid of townhomes and duplexes. Personally, I'm not in favor of having any townhomes or any duplexes in Green Garden Township. I would like to see a limited residential neighborhood suburban feel. And I would like to see them be 1 acre parcels, minimum, not quarter acres. And that's the second thing I was going to mention to Mark, is that we don't have a acreage amount under neighborhood residential. I would like to see it as 1 acre, no townhomes, no duplexes, and even state it in there,
Well, these are all.
instead of stating that we're okay with it.
I think these are all, sewer and water, if you want to, you could probably go with 1.5 acres or something like that. But once you get, septic,
Well, instead of,
well, septic, you want to keep it at 2.5, you want to go back to 1 acre.
right,
I think that's rough, the other one.
yeah,
So that was based on, all they did was base everything off of the comprehensive plan, because according to like, related comprehensive plan land use policies, they have, 6 things. And it's page 8, page 14, 14, 14, 16, 18, 19. They don't reference what they're looking at. So I had to call up Mark and say, where are you pulling all this stuff off? And he said, oh, I took it out of the 2018 comprehensive plan. So, I mean, it doesn't say that it goes that way, but obviously it does.
yeah.
So,
Well, and that's fine, I mean, that's where he's pulling it from, but again, what I would like to see is, what do you think about no duplexes, no townhomes, no apartments?
yeah,
So that's what I was gonna suggest. Now, remember, what Mark wanted to do was bring it to the residents. He wanted to get our feedback first, then bring it to the residents, then they revise it a little bit, and then it comes back to us for a vote. So I know we're not voting now, but I'm just saying, yeah, I would love not to see any duplexes, townhomes, apartments, and have it be stated under neighborhood residential. We don't have that. We have estate homes, we have custom homes, 1 acre parcels, because the next one, the second category is rural residential. It says rural residential land use consists of single-family detached homes of moderately sized individual lots. Can we put a number on that? Moderately sized? Can we say that that is 2.5 or more? In my little perfect world, it would be 5 acres or more. But can we say 2.5?
that would be 2.5.
Yeah.
Look at, parks, and
Yeah,
we don't want anything like that.
Right.
This is rich.
yeah. But again, that's rural residential. So that's a little different than what we just talked about, the neighborhood suburban residential.